First of all, good to see you again, Zeke.
Man, nice to see you, man. Nice
Yeah,
to see you.
where are you right now?
I'm in Santa Cruz, California.
Yeah,
But I'm getting ready to leave for a road trip tonight actually to go to Memphis. To go
and
to
the room.
Memphis and then Mexico City.
Oh, nice. And the room you're in right now, is that where you live now?
Yep. This is where I stay. I stay in a hotel. Team provides it for us. So yeah, pretty nice, pretty decent.
Okay, super. Well, I want to take you back a little bit to your time also in Copenhagen, and then
Okay, all right,
we're gonna track your journey to where you are now.
all
Okay?
right. Yeah,
So, as you know that you were a big fan favorite in Copenhagen. Yeah, and I
yeah.
also got to know you. You remember that? What we had to
Yeah.
do in the first week?
Oh, of course, of course. We had to do a lot. Then I came over to your house for dinner with the fam. Super
Yeah,
nice.
and then we had to take a road trip.
Ah, yes, we had to go to what
Volvo.
was it? Albo.
Yeah. To
Yeah.
do the biometrics to get your
Right,
work permit. So that was a
right.
4 hour drive each way.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was
Yeah,
crazy. Just to play basketball, but it
yeah,
was worth it.
and I got to know you.
Yeah.
So if we go back to when you arrived to Copenhagen and you started
hmm
working out with the team, and what
hmm
was your thoughts at the moment? What did you think about the whole situation?
I kind of knew the situation, like going into the team already a little bit beforehand because I had a video call with Jeffrey before I signed with Copenhagen, and he was kind of explaining everything to me, about the team dynamics. It was a team that's trying to become uh big, especially with the youth. I know that it was partnered with Ajax, so
Yes.
I kind of knew what I was getting into beforehand. Coach Jeffrey told me that it would be a situation for me to grow as a player, mentally as well as like basketball wise. So going into it, I didn't have any surprises. The only thing I was surprised about was the weather. I thought it would be a little bit colder. It was not as cold as I thought.
Okay. And that was a good
uh,
thing.
that's a great thing.
Yeah.
So I don't think I had any like bad surprises
And
whatsoever. I actually enjoyed it a lot.
and
Enjoyed
you
it a lot.
came straight out of college at that point?
No, I came straight from Spain at
Oh
that
yeah,
point.
you were in Spain first. So
Yeah, I was in Spain.
how was the transition from college to Spain to Copenhagen? How I mean, in terms of basketball and playing
Mhm.
style.
So in college, it was much different than Spain because obviously in Spain it was all pros, all professionals. So you're talking about the best of what they do. And so anytime you move up a level, it's always a different level of competition. Guys are bigger, guys are faster, guys are stronger. So in Spain, I saw that guys were bigger, faster, stronger, and then mentally the game was much more tactical, much more strategic, than what I was accustomed to coming from America. The team that I came from, specifically in America, was very guard heavy. A lot of dribbling to create your own moves, and we didn't have much bigs, and we never played inside out. We played outside in, which is sometimes common in America, but in Spain it wasn't too much of a adjustment just because how I was raised to play the game. My dad is international; he's from Trinidad and Tobago, so he kind of taught me how to play the European way, as they say, and so the adjustment from Spain was only just the physicality of it, guys getting bigger, faster, stronger. And then the same thing when I moved from Spain to Denmark. It was a different brand of basketball, much more fast paced in Denmark. Um, I would like to say run and gun, much more physical. So yeah, I mean the adjustments were more so physically more than they were like tactically for me at least. for my experience.
Great, good to hear. And you felt comfortable with the adjustment from one country to another?
Yeah, I felt very comfortable with the adjustment, and honestly, I would say the adjustment to Denmark was a little bit more easier just because of like the people in Denmark. First off, in Spain, I had only one translator. They did not speak English. Some of my teammates spoke English, but the coach would coach in Spanish. Uh, so I would say around 80% of the time I was in Spain playing, it was Spanish. In Copenhagen, everyone was speaking English, which is super helpful for me because I don't know Danish. So,
Is it weird
uh,
that we speak English that well?
I wouldn't say it's weird. I would say it's kind honestly, it's super helpful. But I do wish like I talked to some of my team like my former teammates, and I would say, man, I wish you guys spoke more Danish around me because I like to hear the
Okay,
culture. I like to
yes,
be around the culture, and I would tell like my teammate Hannibal when he would be talking to Lowitz or Sharif, I would say, hey, don't feel like you have to speak English because I'm right next to you.
okay.
Speak Danish. I like that. Like for
Yeah.
at least for me, I loved guys being themselves. I loved hearing that because it made me feel like, oh my God, I'm in Denmark.
But
So
see,
yeah.
that approach, that you have like the investigating approach. You want to get better. You want to learn stuff. You want to know things. I
Yeah.
think that whole mentality is also helpful in basketball.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and for me, like that's why I loved playing for Copenhagen so much. That's why I loved my teammates is because the whole process was about learning. And I would say it's obviously not a school. It's a professional basketball team, but and how the team carry itself, it's very much like a school. Everyone's learning basketball and life wise. I know one of the biggest things for me while playing for Copenhagen that helped me a lot was just my mentality. And you can even see it with the youth. I mean, the youth are learning to play in a grown man's league. You're incorporating Ajax kids to learn how to play in a grown man league to better prepare them. So, like for me, all of the learning was immersed from my environment, whether it be outside of basketball, me walking around Nørrebro trying to try different Danish, pastries, to going on the basketball court and learning how to make adjustments in the game. And I think all of that comes from the organization, you, Phil, Jeffrey, so
Yeah.
I think it's
Cool.
all very, very, very helpful. Yeah.
And then at the end of the season, you and your agent, you got some calls and some emails
Hmm.
from France,
Yes.
from
Yeah.
88
So
Ploy, and they
yeah.
reached out to you.
Yeah. So around yeah. So I think around February, late February,
Yes.
88 blah. They found me, and they contacted my agent about possibly coming and playing for them in regards to trying to win a championship in France Pro B second division. And they told me what the situation was, how much minutes I would be playing, what my role would be. And at first, I was very skeptical. I did not want to do it because I was having so much success, so much fun in Copenhagen. I mean, in my head at that time, Copenhagen was my safe space. It's like, why would I go somewhere where I'm already having success and having a great time? It seems a little bit foolish, you know? But after talking to like coach, the first thing I did was call Coach Jeff. I called some of my teammates and asked what they thought on it. And I wasn't surprised that they told me go because my team is a very caring team, loving team, and they want what's best for me, which I thought was super amazing. And I'm super grateful for that. And they told me that it was something I should try to do. And then I talked to my family about it, and then I decided to go ahead and go to France and
And
play
how
in
was that
France.
experience? Because you came in like in the second half of the season, playoff time.
Hmm. Yeah. So it was now that adjustment was actually super hard. Uh I went in and I started right away. But obviously like you said, I went in at the second half of the season, so the team dynamics is already there. You already have your best player. You already know what this guy can do. They already know what they can do because they've been playing with each other for a whole season. Me, I'm coming into it and I have to learn all these plays, all my teammates' names, like all of like what they can do good and putting them in places to score. I remember they I remember we had played Ama on like a Friday. The team had called me asking if I could come to France. I talked to my coaches and my teammates and my family on a Saturday. I was on a flight that Sunday. So it
Yeah,
took 2 days and I was already on a flight. And
yeah,
on in the airport on the plane, I have 40 plays in front of me. And they're asking me to learn around 40 plays just so I can help them win the championship. And I felt nervous because, like, dang, wow, like I have to learn all of these plays. I have to learn the system. I have to learn how the coach coaches. I have to, and that's just basketball. That's not even environmental, changes. So, uh, but I think I handled it well, and the team actually accepted me with open arms. They helped me get acclimated pretty quickly, and my role wasn't the same as it is in Copenhagen. In Copenhagen, I was more of a leader, a winner. Uh, a score perhaps, but here in France, I was much more of a defender, guard the best player, and then score when I can. So I think I ended up averaging around, I think 10 points and 2 steals a game, and I was guarding
yeah.
the best player every game, and
And
that helped us win a
what was the
championship.
outcome for the team? How did it go?
It went well. We won the championship. We ended
Yeah,
up getting promoted to the Belgic League, which is the first division in France.
yeah,
And from there, Golden State Warriors had found me, and they had actually found me in Denmark that Christmas. An international scout had found me, when I went to France and we won the championship, that's when they got in contact with me from there, and from there I went to San Francisco.
yeah. So now you're in the G League. Yeah,
Yeah.
with the Santa Cruz Warriors.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And before we talk about that, I want to ask you a question because I know that you're a guy who can also think in other terms as basketball.
Yeah.
It's my thesis. The more pro you get, the better level you compete at, the
Yeah.
more lonely it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
That true?
Uh, yeah, very true. Very true. I think people kind of underestimate what it takes to be a high level professional, the sacrifices it takes. Um, you know, People just saw success with me in Copenhagen, but they didn't know that I was getting up at 5:30 every morning and working out with Jeffrey at Norbert Island. They would let us in at 5, 6 in the morning, and just so I can shoot extra shots outside of practice twice, 3 times a day, and then still go practice with my team, or that I was lifting weights with Darrell Vincent at Fitness World. So like the higher you get up, the more lonely it does get, especially like now that I'm playing in the NBA G League. Like we're playing around 50, 60 games in a season, and we're always on the move. We're always in different cities every 2, 3 days. And
Yeah.
it's hard to have connections with people. It's hard to honestly rest sometimes because you're playing so much, which is a blessing and a curse. For me, I love basketball. I think it's a blessing, but sometimes, like you said, it is very lonely.
Could
Even
that
in
be
yeah,
yeah, excuse me. Could that be one of the main reasons that very good, very talented players does not make it to that level? Kind of
yeah.
they can't do the mentally
Oh,
struggle of being alone, at being on your own. You always have to pick yourself up.
oh, for sure, definitely. I think for a lot of for a lot of players, especially Americans overseas, that's why a lot of guys fail because they don't have that sense of companionship, or the what it takes to be a pro. You know, everybody wants to have the successes and the benefits of what it's like to be a pro, but nobody wants to go through what you have to go through. And one of those things are loneliness, especially for Americans overseas, or even people in their own country, their domestic country, the sacrifices you have to take. Sometimes you can't go out, you can't go party on a Friday or a Saturday because you have to get shots up. And I mean, some people think you can do both, but you can't do both and be great. You
No,
can't,
no.
sadly you can't. But one day, my parents always would tell me that, if you sacrifice now, in the long run, you would have a great life, and you would be able to do all those things when you're older. And to me, it just kind of made sense. So,
And what support do you have like in your everyday? Is it family? Do you have found some cool teammates and you support each other? Is it the coaching staff? Who supports you in your daily routine?
yeah. Well, I think it kind of depends, and it changes as like depending on what team I'm on, where I'm at. Like I know when I was overseas, I had a lot of it come from my coach, and a lot of it come from my teammates or other Americans or other people who know what it's like to be abroad, or yourself. Just good humans that understand support. And I've been very blessed to be and lucky enough to be put around people that understand that it's not easy to be a pro or to be great. So most of the time it comes from my family. And if I'm in, Europe, it comes from my teammates or my coaching staff. But like now I'm here in America, and most of it just comes from family more than Americans, because we're all, here in America. So
And now we have to get back to your G League career.
yeah, yeah,
So I have always known your goals and your what you're aiming towards. Are you
yeah.
closer to that goal now? Can you
For
smell it?
for
Can you
sure,
feel it?
I can feel it. I see it every day I wake up. I'm closer and closer to it. But when you're focusing on your goals like that, one thing Jeffrey had taught me when I was in Denmark, in Copenhagen, is he told me to take it one day at a time, and just focus on today.
Yes.
It's best when you focus on today instead of trying to focus at the top, because then
Yeah.
you could kind of like get overwhelmed, you could get anxious, you can forget the things that mean the most to you, what makes you you. And yeah, I can feel it. I see it right there. It's like right there. But I
Mm,
have to stay focused and stay disciplined,
sure.
and just keep working day by day. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing wrong with having a goal, but you cannot let it affect your everyday
Ye-
life and
yep.
your next game. You have to
Yep,
be
for
focused on
sure.
that. Sure. And what's the situation on the team? Is it fun? Is it super hard work? Are they practicing more than you've tried before, or how is it?
Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty I would say it's a little bit physically more demanding because we're playing more games than I'm accustomed to playing, but it's very, very professional. The team dynamic that I'm on is very friendly. A lot of great guys, Golden State recruits, a lot of like high class guys, high character guys, good morals, good values, things like this. So I find myself around my teammates who are much like myself, just great people. And yeah, it's a good dynamic. I mean, I'm on a team where most guys are 27, 28, a little bit older.
Yeah.
But I'm doing well right now. I'm playing pretty decent. Sometimes I play more than I play others. Some games I don't play, some games I do play. It just depends on what the NBA organization wants from us, considering that we're their like equivalent would be like us being Ajax and you guys being Copenhagen,
Okay, so
So yeah.
actually, there's an instruction from the NBA organization
Yeah,
to
for
the G
sure.
League team telling we
Yes.
want to see Zeke Moore play more minutes this game.
Right.
Okay,
Yes, yes, yes. Yes,
interesting.
for sure. Yeah, yeah. So they have a lot of their input. They have a lot of input on our team and what we do. As a team, we play the exact same system, the exact same way. And
Yes.
so far I'm doing well. I'm averaging around 15 points a game, three
Yeah.
rebounds, three assists. So I'm doing pretty decent.
Yeah,
Doing
and
pretty
and
decent.
27 minutes.
Yeah, yep, and around
So you
27
get a
minutes.
lot
Yeah,
of playing time actually.
yeah, I get a lot of playing time. The game's a little bit longer, so it's 48 minutes.
Yeah, I
So
know.
and right, so
Yeah,
so in respect, it's probably half a game, but which is a
yeah,
lot of time.
that's
You know,
fine.
a lot of time. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
A young player and also a new player on the team.
Right,
So it's both.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So I think, Zeke, that we're about to finish off this interview.
All
It's
right, all
been
right.
so great hearing from you. Are there any people back in in Denmark that you want to say hi to and shout outs
Oh
to?
my gosh. Oh my gosh. So many people, but all the people I want to say hi to are all the same people I talk to almost every week. Of
Nice.
course, of course, I would like to say this. Uh, Super like thankful and super um, blessed to meet people like yourself, Nick, and Jeffrey, and just all my teammates from, Andy Ramirez, Jakob Hoffman, Darrell Vinson, Sharif, Flowitz, Rasmus, everyone there in Copenhagen that I missed. I mean, you guys have been like very instrumental to my career, and I mean, it all starts when it's said and done. I think something that people don't talk about enough as well is not only do you need support, but you need great people around you and people that believe in you. And Copenhagen believed in me, and because you guys believed in me, now I'm here living my dream,
Yeah,
And for me, I everywhere I go, I tell people like, where do you come from? I'm coming from like Denmark, like,
yeah,
and I hope that I can inspire people, um, you know, in Norbro or in Copenhagen that, if you do the right things and you listen and you try your best and you have fun and you are kind and you're just a great person, everything that Copenhagen tries to instill in people, if you can do that, you can have success because I did it. I wasn't no different than Sharif. I wasn't no different than Rasmus. Like I had to learn the same things. I'm shooting on the same rims that they're shooting on. Like we're all the same. You have, 2 meter kids on your team. I'm 2 meters. Like that, that we're all the same.
yeah, yeah,
It's just about what you do and if you have support, if you have people who believe in you, and yeah, super thankful, honestly. I keep up with the games all the time.
sure.
I catch up with the cup games. I like again. I still am a diehard Copenhagen guy. I
Well,
watch, yeah,
yeah, yeah, us too. So we are big
yeah.
fan of you, Zeke, and on behalf of the whole Copenhagen organization and the team and everybody, I just want to say continually good luck to you.
Thank you.
And of course, we'll stay in touch, and we
Yeah, for sure.
super excited to follow you and your journey
Yeah, thank you.
towards even more greatness. So,
Yeah,
okay, Zeke Moore, thank you so much for taking time for this interview.
thank you for having me. No
Yeah,
problem.
yeah, and we'll stay in touch, right?
Oh, yep. All right, Nick. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Goodbye.
All right, no
See
problem.
you.
Bye bye.
See
Bye
you.
bye.
I'm in the big leagues, told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney.